Chant takes place in around 1900. Interesting
Yes, that's right.
date, isn't it?
Interesting date, yeah.
And right off the bat, there's a dialogue in your book about federation. What was that, and why was it being so argued at the time?
Well, like the American colonies federating into a sovereign country, the Australians did the same in 1900. They voted throughout the late 1890s to do so. Mm-hmm. And it was quite a triumph. It was done without bloodshed, and it involved a country that's London to Moscow and a couple of 100 miles as well added on. And I think we're kind of disappointed that we did it without shooting redcoats the way you fellas did. And so there is a connection between federation and war. So the war in the Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith is offshore. It's in South Africa. But think of Peter Weir's fine, not utterly accurate, but magnificent film, Gallipoli. There, the Australians felt that at Gallipoli, even though we lost, Australia was born, which is a pretty strange idea to think that a nation was born offshore in a country called Turkey. Well,
look at the Alamo here.
In any case, there is that connection between federation, as if we're... but the debates were... strong and ongoing, and the first federal parliament met the year after Jimmy was hanged. So
that possibility of coming together, and then you have the exchange with the Aborigines and the white culture. Seems to me like this is an intentional confluence of things.
Yes, it is. And it's also a reference to the fact that the Aboriginals have no place in the Australian census, in the Constitution. They're to have no place. There are fiscal reasons for that, but there's also racism, and they are not recognised as the traditional owners of Australia at all. There was no... it was believed at Federation that they were a dying race, and that our job was to help them on either with a bullet or by smoothing the dying pillow.
I could have wished that some of the songs had made it into the film.
Yeah,
those lyrics that you have scattered throughout the book. Those are yours, I assume?
Yes, indeed.
Amazing.
They're based on Aboriginal poetry, the lyrics throughout the book.
On the whole, happy with the adaptation?
Yes, yeah. The problem of getting inside the soul is the only thing to seeing the nuance of change in Jimmy is the only thing that's hard to do. And I'm amazed how good filmmakers can, like Fred, can put in as much of that unspoken shift of motivation as they can. I think Skepsy is one of the finest directors, and I look at I've forgotten the number. 2 degrees of separation.
Well, 7 degrees.
7 degrees.
6 or 7.
Separation.
Yeah, one of those.
It is 7 degrees of separation, and Last Orders, and A Cry in the Dark,
right.
And
somewhere in there is Mr. Baseball.
Yes, Mr. Baseball. That's not a bad movie.
No.
And his last film, The Eye of the Storm, is not... I didn't like it as much.
It's kind of Chekhovian, I thought.
Yes, and you're not close to the characters, but then it's written by a novelist called Patrick White, who won the Nobel Prize, and it's, I think a lot of the fault lies with White, actually, for his coldness towards his characters. The other thing is Charlotte Rampling. I think you should never put Charlotte Rampling as an elderly mother, because you know that she's going to seduce the daughter's boyfriend, and that's what happens in The Eye of the Storm.
We're probably going to have to get out of here, alas. But Thomas Keneally, you have been so kind to talk with me and my kids at school.
And it's great to talk to you at however a distance. Good luck, kids.